Hello, everybody. Today I'm gonna do a review session for the final exam. Okay, so in today's session, I wanna go through the odd number of questions. Okay, odd number of questions. Let's take a look. The first question. For the first question is about the limits, and here we're gonna find out x approaches -1 from left-hand side. So left-hand side, we're gonna go to -1 is here, right? So x approaches -1 from left-hand side. Okay, and the curve approaches this point. Okay, approaches this point. X approaches -1 from left-hand side, and the curve approaches this point. This point has y value, that is 2. Okay, so the answer should be 2. Now, x approaches -1 from right-hand side. Okay, x approaches -1 from right-hand side, and the curve approaches this point, right? This point has y value, that is 2. X approaches -1 from both sides, because the left-hand side limit equals right-hand side limit. So it's equals 2. F -1, how to find F -1? Just draw a vertical line. Okay, and we find a solid point here, right? This solid point corresponding to this solid point is 2. So the answer should be 2. Okay, now let's go to the question 3. Question 3 is about the limit without graph. I just gave you a function. So how to find the limit of this guy? Here we plug in. It's very straightforward. So plug in -2, -24 equals -23. So the answer should be -23. Problem 5 requires us to find the graph that satisfies this condition. So x approaches 0 from left-hand side. X approaches 0 from left-hand side. Okay. Here, the curve approaches this point. This point has y value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is y value is a -2. Okay, -2. So that means this guy equals -2. Okay, it's very clearly this guy doesn't satisfy this condition. And for this guy, when x approaches 0 from left-hand side, the curve approaches this point. This point has y value that is 1. So this guy is satisfied. You also can check this condition. X approaches 0 from right-hand side, and the curve approaches this point. This point has y value that is -2, right? So this guy is satisfied. And also you can check F0. F0, that means you're gonna draw a vertical line at 0, and then you can find a solid point here. This solid point has y value that is -2, okay, -2. So that means these conditions are satisfied, okay, satisfied. So the problem should be B. And for problem 7, how to find the limit of this piecewise function? 2 steps. So first step, you're gonna draw the graph. Okay, draw the graph. we have breakpoints that is 0. So less than 0, we have this function. Greater than 0, we have this function. Okay, so here x approaches 0 from right hand side. Okay, from right hand side, that means this guy have function, this guy, right? And then plug in, we have 13 plus 0 squared equals 13. That's it. And similar for the left-hand side limit. For the left-hand side limit, x approaches 0 from left-hand side. We have 13 minus x squared, right? X approach 0 from left-hand side, corresponding to the function 13 minus x squared. So the answer here is 13, here is 13. Now, here x approaches 0 from both sides. According to the theorem, the right-hand side limit is 13, the left-hand side limit is 13. These two are equivalent, so that means this guy equals 13. Select, find f0, right? How to find f0? We're gonna go back to the original function, and this function, which piece function include x equals 0? This guy, right? This piece include x equals 0. So that means we plug in this function, right? We plug in this function, x0, plug in here, 13 minus x 0 squared, which is plug in here. And this guy equals 13. So the answer should be 13, okay, 13. Now let's take a look at the problem 9. Problem 9, we need to find the derivative first. Okay, derivative first. So find the derivative first. How to do it? We're gonna use sum difference. Okay. We have sum rule. And then this guy equals 0. And then use the constant multiple rule. And then power rule. Okay, we have x prime x equals 6x. So now you can plug in. Here's 6x, plug in 6 times 1, 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 3, 18. So the answer for this guy is 6, 12, 18. Okay, 12, 18. That's the answer. Okay, that's the answer. Now let's go to question 11. Question 11 is about the sum of difference rule. So we have three terms, right? And then we're gonna do the derivative for each term. And we have this guy is 1 over x. And this guy equals 1. Derivative of x equals 1, okay? That's it. So that's the answer. And problem 13, product rule. We're gonna do the derivative for the first function times the second function. Derivative first function times the derivative of second function, okay? That's the product rule. And then for this guy, we can apply the constant multiple rule. So we have 4 phi x phi minus 1 power rule. And this guy, we can apply the difference rule. And actually, this guy is 0. This power rule times 4. And this guy is distribution. This guy is 16. 5 plus 3 is 8. Okay. So 36 x to the power 8. And this is the answer. Okay, that's the answer. Now let's try the problem 15. Problem 15 is about product rule. Okay, product rule. So we have derivative of first function times second function, derivative of first function times the derivative of second function. This guy equals itself. Okay, that's it. That's the problem 15. Now, let's try the problem 17. Problem 17 is still about the product rule. We're gonna do it. 0.6 plus 9 plus first function times the derivative of second function. Okay. And then we do the derivative for each term. Okay, do the derivative for each term. And the first function, apply the constant multiple rule. This guy is 0. This guy is constant multiple rule. This guy is 0. Okay. And the derivative of x is 1. So, and the derivative of x equals 1. This guy equals 0.3. Here's a 0. Distribution. And we can combine it. Okay, that's it. So that's the answer for the problem 17. Okay, problem 17. Now we're gonna address the problem 19. Okay, problem 19 is about quotient rule. Okay, quotient rule. So we can follow the quotient rule. So derivative of first function times the second function, subtract. Okay, that's the quotient rule. Now we're gonna do the derivative for each term. And this guy is 0. And for the first function, derivative of x squared gonna be 2x, right? 2x. So 9 times 2x, 18x. And this is 2x. So it should be 2x. Now, distribution. 18x cubed. 90x. Distribution, negative 2x times 9x squared. 18x cubed. Negative 2x, negative 4x. So we have this guy. Now we can simplify it. Okay, so for the problem 19, this question, the answer should be 86x over x squared plus 5 squared. Okay, that's it. Now we're going to take a look at the last problem. The last problem is still about quotient rule. So let's take a look. We follow the quotient rule, derivative of first function, and subtract derivative of second function. Okay. Now we're gonna take a look. 1 over x, and we're gonna do the derivative for each term. Okay. And for the first term, we can do the distribution. 1 over x, 44 over x, 1 over x times x cancel out. And this guy is 0, this guy is 1. As you can see, in the numerator, we have fraction. Okay, fraction. So we wanted to remove the x. So how to remove it? We will multiply the x for both numerator and denominator. Okay, and then we will cancel out. So x times cancel out. So we can simplify it. And the answer is this guy. That's it.